So this is a Kyle is famous. We're gonna do what in the first ending. Now, certain people might know somebody named Kyle, but I'm not saying anything. Today we're gonna be doing the good interview ending. Here's pretty much a walkthrough on how to do that. Kyle wakes up. He is famous. Kyle is host of the most popular talk show in recent memory, Stay Up Late with Kyle. Stay Up Late with Kyle has grown in popularity quickly in the last year, and the public has noticed. Inside has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man. Top Tech noted that Kyle is inspiring youth to explore STEM fields. Most other talk shows are dedicated to discussing Kyle and his personal details. Most online videos are best of clips taken from Kyle's latest broadcast. The eye of the world is upon Kyle. Tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. Stay Up Late with Kyle will be featuring Rachel May. She is a kind and lovely philanthropist. She is dear to the hearts of many. This interview requires preparation. Kyle cracked his eyes open, knowing today is his last chance to prepare for the interview. Kyle has 30 hours left. He must choose his actions wisely. So, Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. Exit the bed. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his bedroom. Sit at desk. Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. Write notes for interview. Kyle wrote down his first question, but I like to make it the most normal questions, so it's the best interview it can be. Are you a mother? Kyle wrote down his second question. What are some diet tips? Kyle wrote down his third question. What's your funniest story? Kyle wrote down his last question. What's your guilty pleasure? Kyle ripped his page of notes out of the notebook and got up from the desk. Now we gotta go back to room. We've got to open the closet. We've got to choose an outfit. And it doesn't really matter which one you're going to pick, but I like to pick the sleek suit because it looks the most normal out of all those choices. Now we gotta exit the bedroom to hallway. Now we gotta move to kitchen. We've got to open the fridge, prepare breakfast. Kyle constructed a breakfast of poached eggs and toast along with a small fruit cup and grilled sausage. Eat. Kyle ate his breakfast slowly and thoughtfully, enjoying every bite. He felt refreshed. Now we got to return to hallway. I mean, it's nice to get some sunshine, so let's leave the apartment. Anything we do from now doesn't really matter until the interview, so let's visit the downstairs neighbor. Kyle approached his downstairs neighbor door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby entered the door. She looked at Kyle expectantly. Since we want to be really normal, let's greet and start a conversation. Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly. Let's ask her about herself. Gabby, asked Kyle, tell me about yourself. Gabby stiffened. Oh, she said, putting on a fake smile. I just sit around here. Yes, I don't get around much, never go out at night. I just stay here. Right here. Gabby glared at Kyle. Convinced by Gabby's statement, Kyle bid her goodbye and returned to the street. Let's go back to the street, and since we've only got 1 hour left until the interview, let's return to apartment. And leave apartment again. Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting across from his host's chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to being here. Kyle responded by answering politely. And I as well, Rachel, answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. You are a most welcome guest. After another mild exchange of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking at the camera. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Now, we're just going to click more because we need it to be normal. Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss, so we might as well dive right in, said Kyle. I'm very ready, said Rachel with a winning smile. Kyle produced the notes he had taken earlier. Now, let's see the first one, the one that's the best to start. let's talk about the funniest story to like start the nice mood. You've been involved in a lot of different things, said Kyle. But what's your funniest story? And the order of the questions you ask does not matter at all if you want to get the good interview ending. Well, that's a great question, Kyle, said Rachel. I think this story I always remember is the first time I tried to make dinner for my family. In the soup I made, I swapped out the water with milk and tipped the whole jar of salt in the pot. While my family was sick from trying to eat him, I swiped their things and locked myself in my room. Rachel laughed elegantly. Kyle decided to move on. Yeah, a nice job to move on. Kyle asked another question. Kyle ate some poached eggs, so he wants to know what are some diet tips. Rachel, you managed to keep such a thin and healthy figure, said Kyle. What is your best diet tip? Well, a good diet starts with a plan, answered Rachel. And don't break it. Cheat days can always turn into a habit. But, she continued, that doesn't mean a midnight snack here and there isn't allowed. She smiled. Kyle looked at his flabby self, decided not to comment, and moved on. Kyle asked another question. Well, I think everybody wants to know, so are you a mother? Rachel, I and many others would love to know, are you a mother? Kyle looked up from his notes. Well, being a single woman with a career, she answered, that's not something that has crossed my mind. Rachel smiled genuinely at Kyle. It did say she had an air of genuinity. Very reasonable indeed, said Kyle. He referenced his paper of questions. Kyle asked another question. Kyle might need this himself. What's your guilty pleasure? We all have one. What's your guilty pleasure? Ooh, well that's an easy answer, said Rachel. Dipping pickles in chocolate sauce. It might sound strange, but it's tangy and sweet at the same time. I eat it far too often. Rachel smiled sweetly. It's just as sweet as that pickles and chocolate thing. After reading his final question, Kyle looked out from his paper. Well, Rachel, he said, I think that's all I was planning on asking you. If that's the case, Kyle, may I ask you something in return? Asked Rachel, smiling one more time. Do you prepare for interviews in advance? Because you seem very together. Before Kyle could answer, the camera shut down. The broadcast was over. Oh, come on, guys. What's up? Kyle returned home knowing the interview had gone well. But as he lay in bed and drifted to sleep, he felt that perhaps something was still missing. What's missing is the crazy stuff, like you need some crazy action scenes going on in a game like Kyle is Famous. Kyle prepared very well. You can see we've got a C. There's also an R. There's also an O. There's an S. There's another S. There's an L. There's an E, and there's a Y. Yeah.